Hello and welcome to episode 31 of Mad Dialogue with me, Michelle.
And me, Skylar.
I hope everybody is doing really, really well. This week, I'm letting Skylar take the lead.
Woo!
I'm just going by one of the comments, in a couple of episodes ago. I'll take the shame. A couple of episodes ago, somebody commented and said that they enjoyed the topic. Oh, it was Whites Only TV. They enjoyed the topic. However, it would be nice to see the young lady speak more, as I overtalk her a lot, which I admitted I am guilty of. You know, the mother in me does too much sometimes. So,
but guys, I don't mind. Like, seriously, sometimes I ain't got much to say. Like, you know what I mean?
But I did take it on board. So I'm going to allow Skylar to take the lead today.
Us too.
So bear with her if she slips up.
Oh my God.
Because I do it often, you know I do.
Oh, okay. So what channel is this on? Will X10.
Yeah.
Okay.
Which is obviously an American one, but we
Salt
work
Lake
with
City.
We work with what we can.
So a man in Utah is facing child abuse and torture charges after authorities said he took his 3 young children on a difficult hike during a snowstorm. I didn't even realize it was a snowstorm. Not an easy hike that you would take a child upon, Salt Lake County District Attorney Sim Gill said. Okay. I've never heard no one called Sim before. Micah Smith is facing 6 felony charges after investigators say he took his 3 young children to hike up the Broads Fork Trail at Big Cottonwood Canyon, leading to serious injuries and a rescue. Search and rescue folks for them. This hike was a hard hike. It was not an easy hike. This is one that even as trained professionals, they've suffered injury trying to respond to it, Gill said. The indictment said Smith and his 3 kids, aged 2, 4, 8, and 8, set out on the trail at 10 a.m. October 11th. Investigators said Smith did not check the weather and they were caught in a storm, several thousand feet up the mountain. The indictment said they took shelter through... Indictment. The indictment said they took shelter through the night under a rock.
Oh my gosh.
Salt Lake County sheriffs got the call for search and rescue on October 12th. Keep in mind, October 11th, 10 a.m. is when they set out. Okay. The indictment said once the team found Smith along the trail, they said he was acting odd and told them that one of his kids had died. 2 of the younger children had fallen down and taken head trauma, including one who had stopped breathing, Gill said. In an interview with the 8-year-old girl, investigators said she told them that her dad pressed them to go on after she said she was scared. As conditions deteriorated overnight, she said her dad taught her CPR to keep her brother alive. To try to save her brother and to also continue to go through that experience where she communicated fear and concern and they were told to march on, Gill said. Investigators said Smith's wife sent him text messages urging him to get the children down from the mountains before dark, at one point texting him child endangerment. Search and rescue said the children were not wearing much clothes. According to the indictment, a video from Smith's phone recorded one of his children asking if they were going to freeze to death. The 4-year-old is still in hospital. Investigators said his body temperature when he arrived at the hospital was 62.6 degrees. They said he had a stroke, requiring part of his skull to be removed and a drain to be placed. The other part was that really critical to us was that the children were afraid, Gill said. Psychological and emotional effects. Gill said that the allegations at the time are 3 charges of child torture and 3 for abuse. They were going over rocks that were slipping, he said. They were having to grab onto vegetation as they were trying to hike as they were going further up. Gill said the children are getting the medical care they need and Child Protective Services is aware of this case. The indictment said Smith was also arrested for domestic violence in the weeks after the incident. After this incident on November 10th, the defendant trespassed for Primary Children's Hospital for interfering with one of his children's care and for tampering allegedly with that equipment, Gill said. Smith has been booked into jail without bail.
Good.
What the rest?
So that man was trying to kill his children.
But this is what I'm saying.
I'm sorry.
I'm confused for him to even say one of them was dead.
He tried to kill his children. Yeah? I feel like when he went to take the children in the first place, I feel like the mother resisted, like she didn't want that, but he did it anyway, and that's why
he got domestic child,
right. So that's why she texted him, and the second text was child endangerment 2, 4, and 8. Raya, Journey, and I don't know an 8-year-old, but you know what I mean. I would think them walking to the shop was too much. There and back, I'd be like, poor things, let me carry them. Much less.
You know what I mean? Do you know how many times I've just carried Journey the 3-minute walk?
I feel like he was aiming to kill those children and then go home and kill the wife. Yeah, even to the point at the hospital, he's tampering with the equipment. This is giving Chris Watts.
Like, I don't understand. Like, so many of these situations and these stories that we read, it's just so crazy to me because, like, I just don't get it. Like, because literally, as you say, walking to the shop with them when they're those ages is like, oh, you know, if anyone has a toddler, half of the time they're asking to be picked up. You know what I mean? Gosh, for the longest, when I was even going to nursery, I was in the pram. You know what I mean? And you see what I mean? So to bring, I don't understand. Even an 8-year-old, bro, like, like, I couldn't do that. The fact that they said professionals got injured and can't do that.
But he took them out in a snowstorm. They weren't dressed appropriately. Yes. They voiced that they were scared, and that you're telling your child how to do CPR. Where are you? Where have you gone? You claim you're looking for help. None of this makes any sense to me. Yeah, this man was trying to unalive his children.
It doesn't make any fucking sense. And I guess obviously he's thinking in this way, he'd get away with it.
Well, listen, when you reach that point where you're planning on taking your children's lives, you've gone in your head completely. Yeah. So therefore, you can't be in your right mind if you're thinking about taking your children's lives. So what was the thing? What did you say? Sorry. What did you say prior to that? I was trying to get to a point, but I'm just so dumbfounded by the fact that this man did what he did.
He could get away with it if it was in that circumstance. Like, if it was, I don't know, like, I took them on a hike and they couldn't hack it. I guess from maybe to him it seemed more plausible than I just killed them. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. From you've gone in your head and your whole thing is to take your children's lives. Yeah. Then nothing you do will make sense.
Yeah.
Everything you think is logical is totally illogical, because from the get-go, anybody could see that what you did was wrong.
Mm.
Yeah. It makes no sense. So how can you not think that was the man's intentions?
No, for real.
And to say as well, the weeks after you're being done for domestic violence.
Like, what kind of person are you, mate? Like,
more is going to come out about this as they get into it. Do you know what I mean? And then it comes back to that thing again where a woman is in an abusive relationship and can't find the strength to get out, but then your children are suffering. So my thing is, if you can't do it for yourself, do it for your children. Do you know what I mean? Because if he's exhibiting this kind of behavior towards her and towards the children, then I don't doubt for a minute that he hasn't been physically abusive to the children also. And, in the process, these things get covered up, don't they? Because, she's fearful to say anything.
Yeah.
So for me personally, this man, his intentions was to unalive his family, and then he was probably his children, and then probably go home and then unalive.
Yeah.
The wife, because it makes no logical sense. Because okay, you wanted to do a hike, then you take yourself and you go do the hike, innit?
This is my thing. Like,
nothing made sense.
I'm not being funny. Like, as
the way how they were dressed,
someone with a working brain, yeah. If there's something you and yourself want to do, most times still didn't matter if it's a hike or if it's going out for food or whatever. If you want to do this for yourself, you're not thinking about bringing your children, let alone young children at that. You know what I mean?
But usually when somebody has something that they enjoy doing, they do it for themselves, like you said. Do you know what I'm saying? They're not looking to take their children. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that
don't bring your kids on hikes. No, yeah, but there's family-friendly ones. Right. That is just a walk trail up a little hill. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Gosh, I did a hike in year 4 that, to me, was crazy, yeah? It was just like, yeah, it was big, but it was just up a really big hill, yeah? You get to the top, oh, nice, I'm at the top now. And then you got to, like, struggle to get down another pathway. And to me, that was insane. You know what I mean? And that was, I did that within like an hour or something. You know what I mean? So I couldn't imagine what them poor kids were feeling.
Me personally, yeah. If you enjoy doing something, that's cool and that. Say, for example, yeah, you enjoy riding your bike on a Sunday, yeah? Just because you enjoy riding your bike doesn't mean your child will. I'm just saying, because they're their own person, so they will have different things that they will enjoy. Now, don't get me wrong, if they enjoy a bike ride,
I don't think anybody would enjoy that fucking hike.
You're not going to take them on a bike ride for hours.
But this is what I'm saying. Nobody in their right mind would enjoy that hike other than them people who like train for this shit.
I just think how them poor kids must have been crying and suffering.
Cold, shivering
overnight, and and they weren't dressed properly. I keep saying this because he never went with no tent or sleeping bags.
That's what I'm saying.
Because obviously,
and I really doubt if you're bringing your kids in this energy, yeah, were you feeding them properly?
That as well.
You know what I mean? Where were they going to the toilet? Yeah. How were you dealing with them after that?
Did you give them a drink? Like,
you see, there's so many things, and because with this energy that this guy's giving me, I really doubt you're gonna waste carrying extra weight to make sure your kids are accommodated for. You know what I mean? If you're bringing them out in these conditions.
My goodness, one of the children had to have part of their brain removed. Now, if that does not scream, I'm trying to unalive my children, I don't know what is. You are a wicked, evil man, and you need to go prison with the last people we were chatting about. Yeah, you all need to go prison together, and there needs to be a welcoming committee for you. That's all I'm going to say on that part, because I know me, I'll get carried away, and I really don't want people to see that side of me. But they might one day if I keep coming across these stories. But anyway. But yeah, is there anything else you'd like to say on this subject? Because I think we've said enough.
Yeah, for real. Nothing other than the fact that, yeah, bro, I hope he gets all the repercussions coming for him, fam, because there's just no excuse, you know what I mean?
I would make that man walk and walk and walk and walk until he was in the state that his children were in. I promise you. I feel like when people, whatever pain they inflict upon their children, whoever the case may be, they should endure the same kind of thing, so that you know where they should take him? They should take him up at that mountain. You know, the one where people lose their breath and some people die and they've left their body. That's where they need to take him. That's where his ass needs to go. I can't even remember the name of the mountain. If I remember, I'll come back to it. But yeah. Is there anything else you'd like to add on this subject? Well, I'm sending an abundance of love and light to those children and to their mother. But yeah, I'm sending an abundance of love and light for their speedy recovery, because yeah, that's a lot for poor children. It would be a lot for me to go through, much less poor little children like that. Real. So yeah.
I would have called police on him, anywho.
Well, she might have done. But anyway, but saying that,
no, a whole day after she would have.
Oh right, yeah.
They didn't start until the 12th.
Yeah,
and they'd been out since 10 o'clock the morning prior.
True.
Like, do you think it would get to these times now where the sun has set and I'm like, where the fuck are you with my fucking children? You know what I mean? But each to their own.
Well, she did on the second message, didn't? Well, she said child endangerment, but did she actually call for help? She must have done, because how else would they have got rescued in that? Because he didn't call nobody.
The next day.
Yeah, but he didn't call nobody,
no,
so it must have been her. Anyway, on that note, we will leave it here. As always, I'm sending an abundance of love and light. Thank you so much for joining us. It's goodbye from me, Michelle, and goodbye from Skylar.
Bye.
Bye.